Sorry, a quick look. Okay. So we were able to like record the values, and on getting the values, we send them to the cloud, right? I was basically the one that wrote the code for into the device, like into the embedded. I use C and C++ with Lua to like write the code into the embedded system, and the server that actually takes those things, make meaning of it, and send it to the farmers was written in, I think, Python and TypeScript. Then OMAP is like a private app. That was the first thing I think I worked on relating to GIS. It's just to like you can enter a location, it will map it out, show you the nearest and the shortest distance. Another thing is there is a shortest distance algorithm where you can like use to know, okay, which route should you pass that will be faster to a particular location. Then the last one is flood detector model. Right, this is simply still a work in progress. Basically, it's a model to like detect flood extent and inform you. So based on what's it called, climate conditions, the weather conditions, the what's it called, flow of water in our irrigation systems like the gutters and all. It's going to like take all those data. Unfortunately, we don't have that accurate data here in Nigeria, so it's a little bit giving difficulties. So that's to tell you that it's not as easy as I'm saying it. You know, you come across some difficulties and all of that. Then moving on is to remote sensing now and satellite imagery, an aspect of GIS. It's like where and how are all these things being applied. Right, for instance, now you know what GIS is, you know what remote sensing is, you know what satellite images are. Simply images that are gotten from the satellites. We have different types of satellite that has been deployed. We have the Landsat ranges from Landsat 1 to like Landsat 7. I think now we have 8 and 9, right? So these satellites are sent by NASA and some other private organizations to get some informations about our planet Earth, right? So this data from these satellite images can be used. Those are part of the things I said we use in calculating vegetation indices, water indices, making meaning out of flood extent maps and all of those things. So industries at which you can apply these concepts, one is the environmental monitoring. When we talk about SDGs, right, a lot of European companies are into SDGs now. Why? Because the global world is pouring a lot of money into SDGs. Once your company is doing something related to SDGs, probably reducing carbon emission or turning waste into some meaningful product, or educating people about waste management, climate, and all of that, they are just dashing. I'm using the word dashing, but it's not that easy. They are just pouring out money. So the places where you can apply remote sensing and satellite imagery, environmental monitoring. So what are we actually monitoring? So it's precision agriculture, where you know exactly what is going to happen. If you buy, let's say, 10 kilogram of rice seed, and you say you want to plant it, what is the predicted output that you'll be getting, right? So that is part of things that precision farming is doing, and remote sensing and satellite imagery are very, very important. The next one is disaster management. In countries like China, India, they use this a lot. They analyze. That's why those guys are very, very good when it comes to remote sensing and satellite imagery. I don't know if you guys have heard about GE, Google Earth Engine, right? It's an application by Google on cloud to like help analyze remote sensing data and satellite imagery. These guys are very, very good when it comes to using, and we ourselves too, we need to like skill up to that extent where we are very knowledgeable and we can do a lot of things with such platform that is made available for us, right? Another one is urban planning and development. We also have climate change studies, right? You can also apply remote sensing here. Sorry that I'm just mentioning, I am not no longer going in depth because of time restriction and all of that. So another aspect is defense and security. Here in Nigeria, there are a lot of people think as surveying students, as geoinformatics students, it's all about land. No, you can work in defense industries, you can work in security industries, you can use tracker, on the device to map out. So you know that, okay, this particular device is currently at this location. If you go there within this time range, it is possible for you to see it. These are concepts like that is being used in real life in the defense and security industries, both in Nigeria and outside. So it's just a matter of you positioning yourself and having the knowledge that matters in that industry. The other one is transportation and logistics. I already made mention of Uber as an example. We also have public health. You can also apply remote sensing, whereby you can say, for instance, that period where we have coronavirus, if not for coronavirus, people would not have even imagined what GIS, remote sensing, can actually do in the public health sector. Now we have a lot of dashboard with ArcGIS that is showing the death rate, that is showing analysis of a lot of health sector information. Before now, all these things are not there. Now you can say in Lagos, so number of people in the has so percentage of a particular disease or something. Also in the research and education and insurance and risk management. Now let's move on to the career pathways. I know this is part of the stage where we all are all very much interested in. Okay, we have talked, now we know those things. So now I want to, when I finish from school, I need to do a particular career. Now I said I'm a geospatial software engineer. That is a career. So what career can I focus on? What career can I push forward to? Number one on this my list is GIS analyst, right? So you can be a GIS analyst, and I'm telling you, where can I work? You can work anywhere as a GIS analyst, even in bank. You can work in bank, you can work with oil and gas industries, you can work with transportation companies, you can work anywhere. One thing I learned in my career life is that when there is no field, or when you feel you love this particular industry and you are not seeing a job, you are not seeing a job description talking about a GIS analyst and stuff like that. Do you know what people do now? What people do is they are learning a particular stuff. For instance, LinkedIn, they are learning a particular concept and they are posting it on LinkedIn, and they will consciously be tagging those industries they are targeting. For instance, now let's say you are targeting which industry doesn't have much GIS analysts now. Let me use banking, for instance. You are targeting banking industries. All you need to do is just be analyzing banking data, right, back to back. Make meaning out of it from the GIS perspective, then post it on LinkedIn. Be consistent with it. The more you are doing it, the truth is people are seeing you. They are just waiting for that right time that they can actually push forward. So don't have to basically limit yourself. I'm telling you that I'm a student, and by God's grace, I actually have opportunities to apply to some, and I've seen what is possible even as a student. And I think there are other people. I think I know few people that we later talk about that have graduated from other universities, though they are doing, I think, GIS and remote sensing, that have also maximized this student opportunity. Because if you cannot maximize the opportunity now as a student, if you should graduate, it's going to be double wala, if I should put it like that. So what are the other opportunities? GIS developer. So basically people get confused. Why GIS developer? Why not web developer? So basically, when we talk about GIS developer, it's simply applying the concept of GIS to what you already know before. For instance, GIS analyst might move from a data analyst to being a GIS analyst. You are already in that field, GIS, you have more leverage because you understand a lot of things about that field better. The same thing with GIS developer, someone from web developer. So basically, you can start with learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, TypeScript, Then you now start thinking, okay, I want to build a GIS application. What libraries do I need to implement like a map now on a website? For instance, you can either use Mapbox API. Mapbox is actually a mapping company. Even Google and some other companies uses them underneath, right? Or if you want to do your own from scratch, we have what's it called? We have OpenStreetMap. You can bring in OpenStreetMap with some libraries. If you are using React, there are a lot of libraries that support this. If you are using pure HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, we also have the likes of Leaflet. Leaflet is a JavaScript library that supports a lot of mapping analysis stuff. So you can do that. The same thing with Cartographer. When it comes to cartography, mapping, and all of this, you can basically be very good at it. Remote sensing specialists understand and know how to apply remote sensing data. For instance, I've come across a lot of issues where we need to do something. I know there is Landsat. I know there are about 2 to 3 other satellite imagery systems, right? Which one will I use? Is the first question. Now, even after deciding on which one will you use, the next question is what band? Is it band 1, band 2, band 3, band 4, band 5, band 6, band 7, band 8 that you are going to use? What band will you use? So you need to understand what each of those bands are for before you even know what you need it for. Like for instance, if you are doing NDI, like water analysis, is it band 5, 6, 7? Which one of it will you use? The same thing with being an environmental scientist, and the same thing with geospatial data scientist, GIS project manager, GIS educator slash trainer. It's just basically understanding the concept of GIS and applying it to each of these fields. And I usually tell people start with one, like I said, web developer, an actual web developer, before I started doing small GIS with it, before I dived into data science and machine learning. So life is progressive. The same thing with career path. You can't be jumping from this today GIS analyst, tomorrow GIS developer. Just stick with one and focus on it. Okay, skills in demand. So now you know the career pathways. What skills do you need? The first one is technical proficiency in GIS softwares, QGIS, ArcGIS. They might not teach us as much as we need to know in school, but I'm telling you, YouTube is there for us. People that have gotten to a level that we have not gotten to, the idea, you can ask them questions. Like maybe for instance now, there are moments where I have to do something. I can't really remember. There is a friend of mine in I think year 5 now. Yeah, I had to just reach out to him to like explain some things to us. So we have a lot of other skills too, like that, like programming and scripting, database management system, and many other ones like that. I will provide a link to this slide afterwards. So now resources, there are a lot of resources here that you can go through. I don't know if you have heard about Professor Q before. He's number one. Like that man is really, really good, right? So I follow him back to back. We have Spatial Thoughts. If you plan on using GE, Google Earth Engine, to do GIS, that's the go-to for you. Then we have Forest Math. Is also a very, very good person. You can just follow all those guys. Then we have Spatial Node. Now, Spatial Node is a platform to get GIS jobs. Like guys, you can basically be getting GIS jobs to like map out a particular thing and you are getting paid for it. Spatial Node is the go-to platform for that, and it was built by a Nigerian. Like that's one of my friends that I was talking about, Emmanuel Jolaya. He built it while he was still in, I think, football, right? So future opportunities. Hello, sorry. Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. So, future opportunities, a lot of things. Now, question and answer sessions. The moderator is going to let us know about that. And the conclusion, GIS is a very, very great field of study. Just like dive in and be very focused on it, and you are good to go. And thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.